Today we are going to study guidelines for physical evidence strategy. So till date we have studied Servicescape and we now going to study guidelines for the physical evidence strategy. Physical evidence are tangible things. Whatever is the tangible things in the services are called physical evidences. So what are the strategy? What are the guidelines are given in this book in our syllabus for physical evidence strategy? So first is recognize the strategic impact of the physical evidence. So what is the impact of physical evidence? Physical evidence is nothing but the tangible things in our services. What is the impact of tangible things in our services on strategy? Organization strategy. Organization strategy is nothing but defined by a organization's goal, vision, mission, and long-term planning. So, what is the impact of this physical evidence on the strategy of the organization that we have to understand? Second is map the physical evidence of the service. So, we have to understand the service completely. So, what is the best way to understand the services is the blueprint. In the blueprint, each and every step is given. So, we have to understand blueprint. We have to understand each and every physical activity. We have to understand each and every process, so that we will able to understand where we require physical evidence, where we have interaction with the customer, and where we if we keep physical evidence, if we use physical evidence in that particular process, what are the points there we will have maximum advantage. So we have to basically find out points where if we use physical evidence will benefit maximum, then clarify the roles of the service scape. So we have to find out, with the help of blueprint, where we can have the best role of the servicescape, where we can use servicescape uh, primarily, and where we will get maximum benefit if we use servicescape. And the wherever we are using servicescape, what role, what function they are playing at that particular place. Then assess and identify physical evidence opportunity. So when we are watching a blueprint, when we are uh, evaluating, understanding the use of the physical evidence, their roles and their use, then we have to check that whether the physical evidence which we are using are enough. If not enough, we have to add, and also we have to check whether we need to improve them, modernize them, make it contemporary. Then we have to do that. So we have to assess and identify physical evidence opportunities. Then be prepared to update and modernize the evidence. Just we said that if required, if the physical evidence keep on changing, because physical evidence are not like long-term goals and vision that they cannot change. Physical evidence will change as per the technology. Physical evidence will change as per the new fashion, because physical evidence communicate things what we have to communicate to the customer, that is communicated through physical evidence. So as the fashion changes, we have to keep on changing our physical evidence. Then last is work cross functionally. As we know that uh, all the departments of the organization, they play part in the physical evidence. Physical evidence is not the responsibility of just marketing department or manufacturing department. It is also responsibility of the all the department, HR department, advertising department, operations department. It is responsibility of everyone. So HR department, they may ask for the uniform or the dress code. Then advertisement department may be giving a particular type of advertising. There they are using Servicescape. Maybe administration department, they may be using some kind of Servicescape. So everybody is using different types of physical evidence or the Servicescape. So it is the responsibility of everyone to use to come together and coordinate, cooperate, and form physical evidence strategy. So first is recognize the strategic impact of physical evidence. So link clearly to the organization's overall goals and object vision. So we have to link servicescape or physical evidence with the organization goals and vision. We have to link physical evidence with the goals and vision, long-term goals and vision, long-term planning, long-term objective. We have to check that the physical evidence, how physical evidence is going to help to achieve goals and visions. We have to also check that how our physical evidence strategy is going to support goals and vision, in what way they are supporting, in what way they should support, to what extent they should support, and what are the opportunities for the improvement, for the changes if they are not supporting. At a minimum, the base, at least servicescape should define uh, the things. At the minimum, the basic service concept must be defined, and the target markets, both internal and external, should be identified. So, with the help of Servicescape, we should at least able to find out what services we are going to sell and who are the target market. Because many evidence decisions are relatively permanent and costly. So most of the service physical evidence decisions are long term and costly. So they must be taken carefully, because to change them it will take lot of budget, lot of expenditure. Now second is map the physical evidence of the service. So we have to find out which are the processes, which are the activities in our particular services. So it can be find out with the help of blueprint. Everyone should be able to see service process and existing element of the physical evidence. So in the blueprint, you have to uh, communicate to everyone. You have to communicate and show to each and every people in the organization what are the steps of the services and where we are using physical evidence, or where we are N- now you have used physical evidence. An effective way to depict service evidence is through service map or blueprint. So service map or blueprint can be used to show the people in the organization to where we are having physical evidence, and what are the different service processes we have in that particular service. From the map, one can read the actions involved in the service delivery and the complexity of the process, the points of the human interaction that provide evidence, opportunity, and tangible representation present at each step. So, from the blueprint, we will know a lot of things. We will come to know what are the actions involved. We will come to know how complex that particular service is. We will come to know how many human interactions we have. We will also come to know what are the opportunities for us to show the physical evidence at what steps. To map the to make the map even more useful, you can use photographs and videos in your blueprint. Now next is clarify the roles of the servicescape. Now we have linked this physical evidence with the goals, objective, vision, mission. Okay, now again in the by looking at the blueprint, we have identified the processes, we have identified the places where we are using servicescape, and we have understood everything. We have very clear idea of what our process is, and where we are using servicescape, and what function they are performing. Now clarify the role of the service scape. So sometimes service physical evidence or the servicescape, they may be playing role, sometimes they may not be playing role. So in telecommunication we have a lot of physical evidence, and we are using lot of servicescape, but they are not performing any role. Okay, but they are not performing any role in the service delivery, but still they are important. So sometimes the servicescape may have no role in the service delivery or marketing from customer point of view. This is essentially the case of the telecommunication services or express mail services. Clarifying the roles played by the servicescape in a particular situation will help in identifying opportunities and depicting just who needs to be consulted in making facility design decision. So sometimes it may happen that there is no role directly for the servicescape, but they may be playing important part such as telecommunication. But still we have to clarify the role to identify opportunity and deciding just who needs to be consulted if you want to make some uh, facility design related decision. Now next is assess and identify physical evidence opportunities. So we have to find out what opportunities we have, whether we can make the changes or the improvements, whether the existing physical evidence or the servicescape we are using is enough or not. So once the current forms of evidence and the roles of the servicescape are understood, possible changes and the improvements can be identified. A strategy might be developed to provide more evidence of service to show customer exactly what they are paying for. So first of all, we have to identify what the physical evidence, uh, what the role physical evidence is playing, and whether that role is enough. Then we have to decide whether we require any changes or improvement, and then we have to decide whether any we require any change or improvement, and then we have to check if if the if the physical evidence role is n- not sure for the customer. If customer is not able to find out physical evidence role, if customer cannot able to relate service with the physical evidence, it may happen in case of insurance. It may happen in case of some services like insurance. People do not able to relate use of servicescape with the physical evidence or the servicescape with the services. So there we have to highlight where for what purpose they are paying for. So we can prepare a physical evidence showing for what they are exactly paying for. The next is prepared to update and modernize the evidence. So evidence physical evidence are not the long term strategy, are not like the long term strategy like goals and vision, objective. They it's not like they do not change for long time as per the fashion, as per the new technology, as per the new communication, as per your competitors. You have to make changes in your physical evidence. So some aspects of the evidence, particularly the servicescape, require frequent or at least periodic updating and modernizing. So frequent update is required, periodic update is required in physical evidence. Even if vision, goals and objectives of the company don't change, time itself takes the toll on physical evidence, necessitating the change and modernization. So it is very important to keep on modernizing, updating physical evidence as per the change in the fashion, as per the change in the trend, as per the change in the market or competitor or the taste and preferences of the customer. There is clearly an element of fashion involved, and over time, different colors, designs, and styles may come to communicate different messages. Organization obviously understand this when it comes to advertising strategy. So as we know in the advertising, we make a lot of changes. So similarly, we have to make changes in our physical evidences, not in all physical evidences, but to some physical evidence as the requirement of the market. Now next is it is cross-functional activity. So physical, we are using a lot of physical evidences. These physical evidences are prepared by various departments. So we have to take the help from the various department to make it successful. Various departments play part in the physical evidence preparation. So they should come together, they should work in a team, they should work in a synergy, they should provide strength to the organization by providing best physical evidence. Physical evidence decisions are made over time and by various functions within the organization. For example, decisions regarding the employee uniform is done by the HR people. Then service-scape design is taken by the facility management people. Process design is taken by the operation people. Advertising and pricing related decision is taken by the marketing people. Thus, physical evidence of the service may at a times be less consistent. A multifunctional team approach required for making decision about the service scale. So it is cross-functional decision and has to be taken by all the people, uh, all the representative of the various departments. So this is all about guidelines for the physical evidence strategy. Hope you have understood this.